I'm gonna do my best job here. Ready?
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another hard review, and I am here to talk about Godzilla Minus One. This is the latest Godzilla movie from Toho, not from America and the Monsterverse. Now, here is where I come from with my history with the character of Godzilla. So, I saw the first Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie in 2014 in a theater, and I remember it being awesome. It was the second week of May in 2014. I saw it with my buddy, and when Godzilla rips open the mouth of the thing and go, brrr, I was like, woo! It was like the coolest thing ever. The whole theater was super excited, and it was awesome. Then we had Kong Skull Island, and that came out around 2017, and I didn't really like that. And that had a little teaser at the end that was like, there's cave paintings of Godzilla and Kong. And it was really annoying at the time to me because we had just heard at Comic-Con there was going to be a Godzilla vs. Kong movie, so it was like, okay, like, thank you for repeating information we already knew. It's kind of like at the end of Civil War when there was a after-credit scene that was like, there's going to be a Black Panther movie. It's like, yeah. There's going to be a Spider-Man movie. It's like, yeah, I hope. I didn't really like the Kong Skull Island movie. I thought it was really bad and weird in a lot of ways. And then Godzilla King of the Monsters comes out, and I didn't really like that one very much either. That one has Millie Bobby Brown, the Stranger Things girl, and there's a whole divorce storyline, and I don't care about any of it. I don't care about any of it at all. There was Godzilla vs. Kong, and this was in early 2021, and that was a lot of fun. Like, every time that the monsters are fighting, it's like the awesomest movie I've ever seen in my life. Every other scene sucks. I like how Kong had a little, like, girlfriend. And then now we're getting the Godzilla X Kong, which they're buddies now, and they fight together, but they might fight each other a little bit. Who knows? Also, I went back and watched the 90s one, the Matthew Broderick Godzilla one with a bunch of mini Godzillas. That one's probably the worst. So I had a very exclusively American outlook on Godzilla, which I realized was such a mistake because I heard this one had really great reviews, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out of my way to go see it. Right before I see it, let me go watch Godzilla 1954, and that is my favorite Godzilla movie. Even after watching spoilers, even after watching Minus One and Shin Godzilla, the original Godzilla movie is the best one. It is so compact, 90 minutes. I care about the characters. There's an awesome moral, ethical dilemma. What it's about is very gripping, especially during the context of what was going on at the time. And it's super impressive. Like, as someone who used to, like, make movies with their phone and stuff, especially when you watch, like, older movies, it's like, whoa, how did they do that? Like, how are people that made movies a century ago doing things that I couldn't even fathom doing today? So I had a really great time with it. I love the cheese of it. I love the black and white. I love the score. I love the look. Everything's great about it. Then I go and watch Godzilla Minus One. I watched in the RPX, and this was great because the seats rumble, and this is the perfect movie for seats to be rumbling in. But I didn't want to do the 4DX because I know there's subtitles I know I gotta read, so I don't want to be like, and I gotta read what's fucking going on. Godzilla Minus One has got to be one of my favorite movies of this year. It has found a way to creep into my top 10 list this year, and I'm so happy because Godzilla Minus One is awesome. Yes, it's awesome because there's awesome Godzilla scenes in it, and that's a great aspect of the movie. But it does not solely rely on Godzilla scenes are cool for this movie to function. The human story is just as engaging, if not more engaging, than the Godzilla story. It's so funny because we think about these American Godzilla movies and we're like, oh god, stop having human characters in these. They're so boring, they're so cheesy, they're so awful. I don't care. I'm here to see Godzilla vs. Kong, not to see the Stranger Things girl be like, my parents are getting divorced. I realize it's not that humans are a bad element of a Godzilla movie. It's that poorly written human beings. Like, if there's a good story for me to latch on to these characters and care about these characters and what's going on the ground and their cause and what they're trying to prevent, then I'm emotionally invested. So I really, really love the story of it was a kamikaze pilot who did not kamikaze during the war, and he said his plane malfunctioned, but they're like, did it really malfunction, eh? And then Godzilla shows up on the island and he's fucking shit up, and they're like, go shoot him, and he doesn't shoot him. He's a chicken. He's a little pussy boy. So Godzilla wrecks shit. They end up getting back to the mainland. We find out everything's destroyed. This guy's whole family's destroyed. He finds a baby. The baby is attached to a woman who's not the baby's mother or anything. She's just taking care of the baby, and then he decides to help take care of the woman and the baby. This little family here is so beautiful. I care about them so much. I'm so invested in them and their safety and their prosperity, and that's what makes all of this feel like it has a lot of stakes and tension. It's not just, woo, rah, rah, monster fight, it's like I'm actually caring about the characters in this movie and what's going to happen to them. So it rises above where any American Godzilla movie has ever been. I love the internal conflict that the main character has as well. The whole like, is your war over? Should we have to die for our own country? You know, for us to feel like honorable, good men. It's a lot of like heavy stuff here because like, dude, imagine that, dying for your country. Couldn't be me. The group of friends that our main kamikaze pilot joins up with, the doctor, the like angry old guy, and then the kid. There was a kid character. I don't remember a lot of people's names. This is a foreign movie that's in another language. I'm doing my best here. I loved it. I did love it. They're out there like trying to find like bombs in the water, and then Godzilla shows up. And this little ragtag group like kind of like spearheads the whole campaign to stop Godzilla. One reason I was really nervous about watching this movie is because I knew it was a prequel. It's called -1, which by the way, the most hilarious way to indicate that it's a prequel. But I heard from other people, don't worry, it's not like you have to watch Shin Godzilla. But then I watched Godzilla -1 and I was like, wow, that was awesome. One of my favorite movies of the year. I gotta watch Shin Godzilla now. So I went out and bought it. Shin Godzilla, it was on sale for like $9. It was on Blu-ray and digital. But the digital code, Funimation? Digital copy? What? I don't know what that is. So I had to make an account. I think it was like Crunchyroll. I just wanted it on my Voodoo, man. But Shin Godzilla is also great, but in different ways. Now, there's a main character in Shin Godzilla that I care about more than I care about any main character in an American Godzilla movie. But it's much more interesting watching that movie from the perspective of, oh, this is how a government would react to this thing happening. And then it's also much cooler than the -1 in the sense that the stages of evolution that Godzilla goes through are super interesting. With the whole Godzilla kick that I've been on lately, I want to get like a Godzilla like figurine, like a foot tall, just you know what I mean, kind of thing. I think the one that I want is the one from Shin Godzilla with a big ass long tail. Not to mention, talk about one of the coolest posters ever with the all red, the black silhouette of Godzilla, and it says, God help us. It's so fucking cool. Japanese Godzilla movies mean something, man. American movies are just bullshit. Now, I know there's a bunch of Godzilla sequels where he just fights random things and it gets to be like B-movie schlock, but when they try, they're so much better at it than we are when we try. That Godzilla 2014 movie is probably the best of the American ones, and like that trailer was so fucking cool. And Bryan Cranston was supposed to be the main character, and he wasn't. And I had to deal with fucking Kick-Ass the whole time. Godzilla is one of the most epic movies of the year. Godzilla is so badass in the movie, but you also care about the characters. It's so, like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I'm just now seeing a Godzilla movie. I'm embarrassed that I saw like all these American ones and never thought they were good. Like I literally went to every single American Godzilla movie and dropped it a star because I was like, these are pathetic compared to the Japanese Godzilla movies. So if you had to ask me right now in my life, I'd go with the 54 Godzilla, -1 Shin Godzilla, A Canyon of Gap, the 2014 Gareth Edwards Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters, I guess. And oh god, and then the 90s one. Ew, that's disgusting. Go check out Godzilla -1 in theaters. It's still in theaters. I watched this like a month ago. It's still in theaters and it's still thriving. Please watch this movie. It's fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I really wouldn't be surprised if it sneaks into my top 10 list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite Godzilla movie is. Technically, he shows up in a Lego Batman movie, and that's better than all of these.